artist is Cristina Isac, who loves to show emotions, moods, and have a philosophical message through her artwork. Hopefully we can hear from Cristina now.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Hi, Cristina. Yes, we can hear you. That's lovely. Please go ahead and talk and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's absolutely fine.
Hello,
absolutely
my
fine.
name is Cristina. My name is Cristina. I am an amateur artist, and also I'm a student at the Open University. I'm studying arts and humanity. I am originally from Moldova. In Moldova, I studied art and design, interior design, and also fashion design. At the age of 18, I moved to Italy. In Italy, I studied art and history of art. So I've always been studying art, and I've traveled a lot. I lived in Spain and in Germany. So lots of my work. I moved to UK. I lived first in England, and 2 years ago, we moved with my partner in Scotland. It's a small village by the seaside. And the landscape around here is actually now my main inspiration because it's absolutely beautiful. And I'll try now my first painting to talk about it. It's autumn landscape. It's acrylic and ink on canvas. So I was inspired here by the colors that you see in autumn. And I created this abstract landscape, quite a melancholic one. The second one, it's Electric Night. It's another landscape, abstract landscape, which is inspired by the view, the sea view that I actually have by looking at from my own window. And it's also inspired by all the lights that you can see in the night. And it's that's why it's called electric sort of night. And my last drawing, it's the picture of eternal beauty. It's watercolor and ink on canvas. I don't see it. Yeah, this one here. With this drawing, I wanted to express the beauty of a female, and the pictures, the drawing itself is quite feminine in style and in the color. And that's about it. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Cristina. Let's go over to our first judge. Shall we go to Geeta first? Geeta.
Hi, Cristina.
Hello.
You know, the theme of autumn is always a pleasure to work with, whether, to go to live in autumn or, to see anything related to autumn is always a pleasure. And what I liked about that is that not conventional colors that you have used to portray autumn there. And that was very interesting for me. And the fact that you have those barren trees in silhouette in the forefront with the colors, splash of colors at the back, that was really interesting and completely different perspective to looking at autumn that way. And I love those particular colors that you had used. It sort of gave me an impression of autumn at night time rather, so it's because one is so used to looking at the hues of orange, scarlet, yellows, and so on. So this was such a beautiful surprise and wonderful autumn. I would love to have that in my lounge sometime. The Electric Night, again, oh, beautiful. I loved those blues and again, the juxtaposing with that yellow and red, which could represent anything. My interpretation, even without reading your caption for it, I assumed, is it perhaps that she's trying to portray sunset? you know, as to focusing on the electric night. So, or it could be buildings, you know, as opposed to, you know, nature and, you know, reality of, you know, a street with lights or something like that. So, but I loved that juxtaposition of colors again in that one. And the last one, I'm very intrigued as to why you titled it that. What is the reason behind, why did you title it as Eternal Beauty?
It's because of the use of a color I use.
All right.
It was something that for me was like a representation of beauty.
Right.
So that's the reason behind.
Yeah, I love the fluidity of colors in that one. But my first thought was, you know, what I could not tap into your mind as to why you called it that. Anyway, but it showed, the image itself showed vulnerability, freedom, and security all put together in terms of an emotion for that painting. But yeah, but wonderful work, all three of them. Really loved.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, all the very best to you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Geeta. Sujata, what are your thoughts on Christina's beautiful artwork?
I was enjoying her stormy autumn. I felt that some storm has come in autumn, and I think it's one of my favorite seasons. So I really enjoyed seeing that. And I felt that she is comfortable and secure with colors. So I think she can really take a next step, can be very bold and do some experiments with colors, because you see, once if you're secure and if you're not scared of colors, then of course you can definitely do some more experiments and find out more about yourself and through your colors, and colors can find out your own self also. So it's like a give and take between color and you, and that can be very interesting. I felt that she has a little bit, how you say, not sure about her subject line in a third work. It's interesting work, but it doesn't go with the first two. It would have been maybe something in a same line which goes further. It is interesting, but I just felt that maybe would have a one step further to those two works. But I enjoyed her security with the colors, as I'm saying. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Brilliant.
good luck.
Brilliant, lovely. Thank you very much, Sujata. Thank you. And moving on to Richard, our final judge.
Hi, Cristina. I agree with both Geeta and Sujata about your colours, particularly in the autumn landscape. What really intrigued me was when you look at the dimensions, it's incredibly small, it seems to me. It's 20 by 20 centimetres. So it's a really intense, that's a really, because it's so small, it's really, it's very intense work. And the only thing which came across quite strongly for me is maybe you need to look at your, the kind of preparation of, you know, it's not just good enough to work with colour or line. That what I could see in the middle, which kind of stopped me, especially in a very small canvas like that, was the fact I could see the canvas, the texture of the canvas, and that got in the way. And I think you need to think about using gesso or preparing the surface properly so you have a smooth surface where you then use those colours and allow them to speak for themselves. Whereas at the moment, what's happening is you're fighting against your surface of the canvas. And I think once you start to look at preparation and actually not just think you put paint onto canvas and that's good enough, that isn't. Yeah, you have to think about the surface you put it on, because otherwise, when you're working that small, it really can come across. I wasn't worried about the fact you got a figurative work at the end. You know, a lot of people I write about go backwards and forwards between figuration and abstraction, you know, without thinking. You know, that I really liked that figure. What I didn't like, and I'll be blunt, I just was going, why are there two what seem to be butterflies at the bottom of this painting? They just seemed like an effect which made no sense. And also, why were there those two lines? Is it the kind of trend that some people have now that you've got to put dribbles and drips onto a painting because that makes it contemporary? Well, it doesn't. Or are they because she's on a swing, but the way she's looking, it looks as though you've taken you've got this back of a figure lying down, but then these two lines make it look as though she's on the swing. you don't need those. Concentrate on the figure. Don't mess about with, I've got to have a dribble or drip of paint down the side and put butterflies in. What are the butterflies about? Yeah, but I think there's a huge amount of promise and lots to work on, but there's also lots you've got to get right in the underpinning of kind of why you're making marks, what you're putting those marks onto, to allow it to really carry as they do. But thank you. Yes, it's lovely to see.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Thank you very much, Richard. Cristina,
yes,
what would you like to say to the judges?
Well, thank you very much for your feedback. I agree with feedback, and I will try in my future to do better. And thank you again very much, and good luck to all.
Thank you.